Are you looking to join Cycling Men of Leisure for one of our rides in 2025? We've got a few things on our schedule.
That's right. We'll be attending Big Bragg and also the Bourbon Country Burn.
Big Bragg is in Georgia and Bourbon Country Burns in Kentucky. Both places are going to be absolutely beautiful. We're going to have teams for both of those events. If you're looking to join us on our team, just send us a message. We'll tell you what to do.
So come on out. It's going to be a good time.
Absolutely.
Well, it's time for Road Adventures with Cycling Men of Leisure, the podcast for cyclists who understand that riding is not just about getting to the destination, but the experience along the way. Now, here are the original Cycling Men of Leisure, Adam and Michael.
Hey, how you doing? Happy New Year, sir.
Happy New Year, Adam. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Ready to start 2023 off. Did you do anything big for the new year?
Well, like I said, we did get tickets, and my wife and I spent our evening at J. Rigger's Distillery here in, not here, but in Kansas City, Missouri. Fantabulous time. It was just an incredible, they put together a incredible New Year's Eve party.
You know, I forgot you were going to do that. I'm sorry about that. So, maybe I forgot because I was jealous. Let's be honest. So, and over here in Michigan, in the Eastern time zone, where it was New Year's before it was for you, things were over here were really, really exciting.
I bet. I did send you a picture of a nice old fashioned.
You did.
Did you get it?
I did. It was very mouth-watering looking.
But I drank one for you too, so don't worry about it.
I appreciate that. My wife, due to her midnight shift, was very tired and probably about 10 o'clock fell asleep on the couch. And so I said, okay, I watched a little television. Then I said, you know what? Tonight is the release of the Big Bragg route, and I'm going to sit in front of my computer and watch it. And so I did. I knew you were busy, so I didn't want to bother you. But did you get a chance to check out the route yet?
You know, I did. The next morning I got up and you had reminded me that I missed the official original announcement. And so I listened to it. So we know where we're going in Georgia.
Yes. Yes. My first impression, I was watching each town and not extremely familiar with Georgia. Last time I had been to Georgia was the Big Bragg 2022. And besides that, I'd only been in the Atlanta airport. And so reading these towns as they were coming across the video looked like they made them look beautiful towns. But I had no idea the geographical location of these towns. And so I started writing down profusely and I started going crazy, as you know me. I started looking at hotels and looking at flights and everything I normally do.
I would expect no less.
And before 1 o'clock my time, I had us hotels, flights, and everything scoped out. My flight was actually purchased, and I had sent you your itinerary, what flight you needed, so we could kind of land or take off on or on about the same time.
See, ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly why I ride with Adam. The guy loves to plan trips. And so when these things happen, he gets hotels and reservations and tells me what flight I need to book. And he's like my own personal travel agent.
Yeah, that's true. I do love it. I went crazy. Now, of course, a little bit of help on the Bragg website. They had the hotels and stuff, but you and I have a certain way that we like to do this, and so I was trying to do it our way, and so I was looking at where the route ended, and then the closest hotel that you and I could get, so we could, since I knew we were flying in with the bikes, and we got to put the bike together, and et cetera, et cetera. And so afterwards, I then went on the full route map that Bragg does provide in the email, and through Ride with GPS, and I clicked on it, and I was kind of like, well, wait a minute, it doesn't go across Georgia, but
let me stop you there.
Okay.
I am one of those traditionalist cyclists on these things. And I know this has been discussed before on several different other rides, but I'm the type of guy that if I'm bicycling across Georgia, I want to go from one end to the other.
That's
From one side to the other. I don't care if it's north to south, east to west, west to east. I want to go from one side to the other. I am not such a stickler that I have to be on the state line. But let me tell you, it's hard to explain to my friends when I just go in a small little section of this. And how is that around? I mean, they've asked me, how is that around the state? But that's just me. There's other people out there that it doesn't bother, but
No, I felt the same way when I first looked at the route, but now the route has actually grown on me. The fact is that we'll be riding in Georgia. There's over 18,000 feet of climb if you play by the rules, meaning if you go the long route on day one. But there's a bonus. Sir, have you ever ridden in South Carolina?
I have been to South Carolina. I have never ridden in South Carolina.
Well, sir,
I'm riding in South Carolina, aren't I?
You get to go to South Carolina. So I mean, after I started looking at the route more and more, and the towns that we're going to, the route is growing on me. It's exciting. I mean, it'll be from the northeastern part of Georgia, like a big C. But I'm like you, when I even Ragbri, like you said, I'll give it a break. If they're 6 miles in east, because that's what you have to do for safety. Okay, I'm not splitting hairs over six miles, and I don't want to get hurt. So okay, but I still want to go across. So at first I was kind of like but then for me, I have to tell you the route has kind of grown on me. I just think it's going to be beautiful.
Well, I got to admit, I didn't cancel my registration. I'm still going regardless. I have looked at the route announcement. Some of the places we go look really awesome. Don't like the elevation. I mean, it's like we cycle up Pikes Peak like once and then a little bit more, just to put it in perspective. But when I did see we're going down through South Carolina, and we're coming into the in town of Augusta from the east instead of the west over the Savannah River. I'm all good. I think that's awesome.
I think that's going to be one heck of an ending there. So, did you happen to look at the populations of the towns that we're going to? Cities, towns, metropolitan areas?
Briefly, but I'm sure you've done a lot more looking than I have.
I have.
Are we going to big cities?
Well, we're going to fly into a really big city, and then but yeah,
this can't be good.
So, yes, once we get into Augusta, then you and I like to take the shuttle that is offered for purchase by Bragg, and we'll take the shuttle to Clayton. Now, Clayton concerns me because Clayton has 2,003 people as of 2021. Now, the reason why it concerns me is it seems as though the population of Bragg, or the ridership, is 1,000. And what have you and I always found out about cell phone coverage? It's plus or minus 20%.
We won't get it.
Exactly.
Warn your wife right now. You won't be able to talk to her the first day.
Well, actually, it's not just the first day, because Clayton has 2,003 people when Clarksville has, according to the population of 2021, 1,937 people. And I don't think I'll have cell phone coverage.
You're not talking to your wife there either.
It's 2 days that I may not have service. Now, I do have two cell phones, one for personal, one for work. We'll see, but yeah, those are a little bit reminds me of, very reminiscent of another ride that you and I like to do.
Oh, yes. Our wives are used to it, though. I mean,
that's true. As long as he didn't die,
they'll notify you if I'm dead. Other than that, everything's good. But I am interested that Clayton, isn't that like up next to the Tennessee border?
It is.
Okay.
Up northeastern part of Georgia. Yeah.
Okay. So we've got that. What's any bigger towns coming up?
Yeah, Gainesville has 43,000 according to 2021 population. And then the overnight town is Brazelton. And Brazelton has, I shouldn't say overnight, the layover town is Brazelton. And it's almost 15,000 people, 14,300 and something. Now, I have to tell you a little funny story as I was looking up Brazelton. So,
Uh-oh.
guess how Brazelton got their name?
Robert Brazelton, famous Civil War general.
No, good
I
close.
just made that up. I have no
Good.
idea.
So there was a guy named Harrison Brazelton, and he was a poor dirt farmer. And he ended up marrying a rich plantation's daughter. And in the end, the town was named after himself. So you know what the lesson here is, right?
Always marry up.
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. So yes, Brazelton, Georgia was named after Harrison Brazelton. So that was kind of interesting. So,
Well done, Mr. Brazelton.
yes,
You have a town named after you. Well, I don't know anything about Brazelton at all, but I did want to say that a couple of interesting things in Clarkston. Have you ever seen the movie
Clarksville?
Or Clarksville? Have you ever seen the movie Wonderlust?
That's
All
the
Rude.
Jennifer Aniston. Yeah,
I think Alan Alden is it too. Was filmed there.
Really?
It was.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Like,
And
like most of it was probably there.
yeah. The most of the film was filmed actually in the town of Clarksville.
Okay.
So,
all right. Do you have any interesting about Gainesville?
actually, I do know a little something about Gainesville,
All right.
which I think is kind of cool. In 1996, it served as the venue for the Summer Olympics for rowing.
Really?
There's a lake, Sydney Lanier, right
Okay.
outside of town, and that was used for the rowing section of the 1996 Olympics.
Now, when I searched Gainesville, I can't lie to you, on Google, guess what it came up with?
That Jody Benson is from there.
No, the poultry capital of the world.
Oh yes,
So
they do.
uh,
Okay, well,
so I'm assuming that when we're in Gainesville and 43,000 people, we can find some poultry somewhere.
we're eating chicken.
All right, fair enough.
But I figured you found the Jody Benson thing. Do you know who Jody Benson is?
It's not ringing a bell. I feel bad.
She's a voice actress,
Okay.
and she is the person that voiced Ariel in Disney's Little Mermaid.
Oh man, I should.
I thought you would know that, Mr. Disney.
I know.
No, it's okay.
So after we spend 2 days in Brazelton, we're going to head on down the road to Madison. Now, Madison has about almost 4,900 people. So
Oh, cool.
be okay. You know anything interesting about Madison?
I know some very interesting things. Being the history buff that I am, they actually have the largest historical district in the state
Okay.
because they've got like 100 antebellum homes, and that's a period from the War of 1812 to the Civil War. So the reason why they've got all these homes that were not destroyed is this town was actually on Sherman's march to the sea towards the end of the Civil War. And General Sherman and his troops were just coming through the South, and to try to end the whole thing, they were just wreaking havoc, laying waste to everything, burn every town, destroy everything. Well, when they got to this town, they didn't.
That's cool.
So this town was saved, and this is why there's so many antebellum homes from that period, because the town wasn't burned, because it was for political reasons. This was the hometown of a congressman who was Union sympathetic, and so Sherman decided he wouldn't burn the town. So
Cool.
we're going to see some beautiful architecture when we're there.
Cool. Now, just out of curiosity, before we moved on to Thomas, does Madison have anything to do with James Madison, the president?
You mean the fourth president of the United States?
Sure.
Yes, it does. The town is actually named for him.
Okay.
Mhm. And it was originally started as a stagecoach stop between Charleston and New Orleans, I believe.
We have one of those over here, a town called Novi, Michigan. It was the number 6 stagecoach stop from Detroit to Grand Rapids. So just a little history there.
Number 4. Okay.
All right. So now we're going to head on down the road to Thomas after we leave Madison. And Thomas has about 6,900 people. So there should be some stuff there, restaurants and pubs and stuff. So, I mean, after all, the ride is called Lakes and Libations. So
That's right. That's right.
I'm looking forward to libations. So
You know what this town originally was called?
I'm listening.
Town was originally founded or started as a depot on the Georgia Railroad, and it was originally known as Slashes. Now, I don't know how it got that name, and it doesn't really sound like someplace I want to stop and get off a train, but that's what it was named.
All right.
And then they renamed it in 1854 after John Edgar Thompson?
Okay.
Thompson. He was a railroad exec.
Cool. Once you leave Thomas, you're going to head on down the road to a little town called Augusta. Now,
Woo-hoo.
Augusta has 204,000 people, so I think you're going to find something to eat there when we get there. But interesting enough, I must tell you, you know me and how I search things. I drop my little Google guy in the street view.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to see a statue of, oh, Mr. Sex Machine. We are going to see, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. James Brown.
Oh.
So, yes, where we end the ride, there is a statue of Mr. James Brown. So I'm excited about that.
That's his hometown.
That is a photograph waiting to happen, I
Well,
think.
I'm a little disappointed because it's also there's not a Hulk Hogan statue there, is there?
Not that I know of.
It's his hometown too.
Okay.
Nor is there a Lawrence Fishburne statue, and it's his hometown. So
there might be, to be fair. All I was doing was doing
I'm just, it's like we're leaving some people out.
Well, I mean, there's also a very large golf course that I would love to see there, but you have to have when you play Survivor, if you ever seen Survivor.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you can take your one luxury item. I feel like I wish on this trip I could take my golf clubs. Right across the river from where we're going to stay in Augusta, there's in South Carolina, there's a golf course. And I was like looking at that. But of course, let's be honest, what's right down the road from where we're going to be is Augusta National. So now to play on Augusta National, I don't know if you know this, but you have to be invited by a member. And since I don't know any members, I'm not going to be invited.
Well, let's not sell yourself short. There's time.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. I could. So, anyways, that's interesting. Now, what was the thing you were telling me last night about Kim Basinger?
Oh, that was in the town of Brazelton.
Okay.
Apparently, Kim Basinger back in the 90s and a couple of other investors bought like 1,000 some acres of public land, a part of the town that was owned by some other development company. And they bought it and they were going to turn it into this, tourist resort thing. And a few years later, she or the group went bankrupt and they wound up having to sell it. But I think they bought it for something like 16 million and they wound up selling it for 1 million. So someone scored. It wasn't me, but someone scored.
Yeah, no, that's not a good investment. Although, but nevertheless, I was just curious. I forgot what you had said last night. But all right, so there's the route. They have announced it: Clayton, Clarksville, Gainesville, Brazelton, Madison, Thomas, and to Augusta. You and I have signed up for Big Brag. This is where I'm going to put a plug in. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to have to do this. No. But we've signed up under Cycling Men of Leisure. And the reason why I mention that is one of the coolest things that I like about what Franklin and his team do is if you can find 10 or more people to sign up under your team name, you get a free Primal jersey.
The whole team?
The whole team gets a free Primal jersey.
So the whole team gets to share the one jersey.
No. There's 10 jerseys. If you can get 10 people.
It's like,
you're
not my size. This is not going to work.
Well, I wear it on day one, and then we have to shrink it for you. And then
I'll just pass it down the line.
There are some restrictions. I think the Northside Hospital or whatever has to be on there. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's not it. I'm so sorry. I just know I think that has to be on there. And then
so you design it yourself.
Yeah.
With the caveat that you have to put like the sponsor on there and a couple of other things.
Well, I'm not going to lie. Guess who's going to design it? Brian.
Well, it's not going to be me.
It's going to be Brian.
I would hope so. Or the guy that did our logos and stuff. I would hope that we would have him do it instead of you and me with crayons. And
Yes, I think to look professional and classy, we will reach out to him. But if we can get 10, so I think we're around 5. So if you are out there and you're listening to this and you are thinking to yourself, man, I am going on Big Brag and I'd like a free jersey, well, please use Cycling Men of Leisure when you sign up. Send me a message on Facebook. You can find it at Cycling Men of Leisure. And we will, remember, it's for women too. We will definitely welcome you with arms wide open. We're a bunch of great guys, and we're really excited about this. Right? I can't wait now. I mean, now that we've got airfare and we've got hotels, and
we're committed.
We are committed.
Should be committed. One of the two.
I think that's.
And
what
I
our
will
family would say,
if we're not going to make you hang out with us the whole time.
No,
that's not one of the requirements. So
no.
I mean, go do your own thing. You want to hang out with us. You want to ride with us. Cool. You want to have a little something after the ride with us. That's cool too. But do your own thing.
I mean, it's a very, very high probability that I'd even provide it for you. As I found my own glass of ice, I would get one for you too, and pour whatever I was going to pour for myself. I'd pour for that person, he or she as well.
I think we did that last year at Ragbri.
We have done that before.
Yes.
So, all right. So, Big Brag 2023. We're going to start it off with our spring tune-up with Bragg, which I'm pretty excited about that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got things planned. The route has been announced. I'm excited.
No, I think it's going to be great. I look forward, obviously, to riding with you again. It's always a good time, and I love the idea we get over into South Carolina, and there is a lot of really historical things along this route. So, that always makes me excited.
That's awesome. Good news, right? Where our hotel is, there is a museum of history. Just want to throw that out there to you.
I will check that out.
Fair enough. All right, sir. Well, that kind of does it for us for the Big Brag announcement. We want to just kind of throw this little bonus content out there. Anything else that you'd add?
Well, like always, today is
a great day for a bike ride.
Thank you for coming along with Adam and Michael on Road Adventures with Cycling Men of Leisure. If you have enjoyed this, please subscribe to the show on the podcast app of your choice.
Hey, we just wanted to remind you that we've got some really cool products at our jersey and our swag store.
That's right. You can visit cyclingmenofleisure.com. At the top of the page, you'll find our stores page. Click there. There's 2 QR codes. The one on the left has a J on it. That's the store for the jerseys. The one on the right is just a swag store. Has all kinds of different items. Kind of customizable. You can kind of make the swag the way you want it. If the QR codes are giving you an issue, don't worry. Underneath, there's 2 buttons that you can click on. Thank you, and have a great day.